Here he's behind Lucas Di Grassi, and he drives round the outside at turn 1. But no, his tyre has failed. Okay, so here we are, now looking in the eyes of Justin Sampson, as he's now headed to the back of the garage, hoping to silence the critics after he missed the chance to last time out in Turkey. Here he goes to the back of the garage for practice. So here Justin is, coming to the end of his first lap in Q1. He now heads down the back straight, where you should expect lots of action in the race. Underneath the bridges, now heading towards the final chicane, which is the best overtaking place. He taps the wall slightly, but he's going to cross the line to do a 1:18.4, which would eventually be enough to get him into Q2 comfortably. I think for like the 3rd time this season, I think it is. I can't quite remember. I think it's the... In fact, no, it's the 4th time this season, isn't it? So the 4th time this season, Justin Sampson gets into Q2. So now, here is Justin coming to the end of his first Q2 lap, which would actually be his only lap as well. Well, I think it's his only lap. So now down the straight he goes. He was saving a few sets of tyres for the race so he has maximum sets of tyres available, especially after what happened in Turkey. Now into the final chicane he goes. Across the line, he's going to do a 1:18.6, which puts him 6th fastest with 2 minutes to go. And that would get him into Q3 for the first ever time. And he was extremely pleased about it. Here is his reaction.
Get in there, I'm in Q3. All the critics, all I can say to you is you, because it shows I'm not a driver, doesn't it?
So now, looking at Justin, what will be his only Q3 lap, because he's using a scrub set of tyres, so expect this lap to be a bit off the pace, because he's saving tyres for the race. Going into the final chicane, he goes, he's overtaking it quite tentatively on the scrub tyres. He is going to set the 10th fastest time, and that's eventually where he'd start. So, all the drivers are sitting on the grid in Montreal, waiting for the lights to go out for round 8. Lights out and away we go. And obviously, as expected, Justin is going to be expected to bulk down a little bit, considering the power of that Virgin racing car. So they head into the first corner. There's a bit of contact with the Renault of Vitaly Petrov, who's able to get around the outside. And also Adrian Suter was able to get around the outside. And Jaime Alguersuari as well. So Justin struggles a little bit off the line as he heads into the chicane. He taps the wall slightly, but it's not been a bad start for Justin so far. There have been worse starts. And as you can see, he's a little bit better on the brakes than the cars ahead. He's got Sebastian Buemi right behind him, which I think he's going to have his hands full defending from. So now going into the chicane. But he's now right behind Jaime Alguersuari. Is he going to be able to have a look going into the hairpin? No, he isn't. A bit tentative there, I think, from Justin. He runs a little bit wide, though. He had to avoid him at the last minute, which has lost him a bit of time. Now he's got Buemi right behind him as they head down the straight. Buemi is in the slipstream. Is he going to be close enough to go for the move? But here comes the Liuzzi, having a look down the inside of Buemi, but I'm not sure the Liuzzi managed to do it. It's going to depend on the exit that Sampson has, and Justin doesn't have a good enough exit. He's now going to have Buemi right by him going into turn 1. He goes into turn 1, but then he runs a little bit wide at turn 2 and allows Buemi through. A bit of contact there as well. So now he heads into the game. Now moving on to lap 3. But no, his tyre has gone. Justin Sampson has had a tyre failure. for the second race in a row. You kidding? This has happened. Only on lap 3. And here is his reaction.
You're not telling me this happened again? My tyre is gone. You kidding me? This is the second race that has happened. Sort out these tyres.
At the end of that lap, Justin pitted for a new tyre. But, believe it or not, just 2 laps later, it happened again. And believe me, Justin was not amused whatsoever.
Right, this is now ridiculous. 2 tyre failures in 3 laps. You kidding me? The who prepares these tyres is going to be punched after the race.
Yep, obviously Justin was not happy about that. But it's not certain that he's going to finish in last yet. Because after this pit stop, Justin is going to attempt to go to the end on this set of prime tyres. And as it's a 2-stop race anyway, yes, he would have lost time through having to crawl back to the pits with a damaged tyre. But at least that will minimise the loss, not doing any more stops than anyone else. So he's going to obviously exit the pits almost a lap down. It seems that something seems to want him to finish last and lapped every race. But no one seems to know what it is. So Justin spent the rest of the race just trying to go at the pace he had in qualifying and seeing if he can catch up to a few cars and seeing if he can gain some position. So here, he was almost able to pass some cars ahead because Degrassi had pitted as well. But he tapped the wall and then loses it. Justin Sampson has lost it. He's able to get going again in P17. So now moving on a lap, Justin hasn't given up. He's continuing. But he once again is going to push too hard. And then he tries to correct it and there's just nothing he can do. He loses his front wing. He's now dropped to the back of the field. And he then stopped the car. So he's retired from what looked like a very promising race. So now his result of the race, Justin's mood was not improved when he found that Kovalainen had scored points, which means he loses another position in the championship. Now moving on to the driver's standings, and obviously he has lost a position. He's still in 22nd ahead of Senna and Degrassi, but still I'm sure he'd be wanting better. After the race, Justin still was very unhappy about what happened with his tyres. Okay, so you've just got to do a few more modifications. Oh, great. Everyone, here comes Justin Sampson. And believe me, he's not going to be happy. Okay, what brings you here, Mr. Sampson?
What brings me here? The fact that you are preparing tyres.
We're really sorry about...
You're sorry? Sorry doesn't get me the points I could have had back, does it, you? I'm going to punch you in the face.
But just...